The basic operations of the helmet are quite simple. On the outside, you have several air vents. Each of these air vents is opened or closed simply by pushing or pulling the tab forward or backward. For instance, this tab, I can push it forward to close it, pull it back to open it. As well as here in the front, I can pull this front air vent up to close it or down to open it. Opening the visor is equally as simple. Simply grab the tab located on the front bottom edge of the visor and pull up. To close the visor, simply grab the same tab and pull down. To use the full face flip-up features of this helmet, it's very simple. Put your thumb underneath the front edge of the chin of the helmet, push in the button, and then pull, and the helmet will flip up. To flip the helmet back down, simply grab the helmet in the same place, pull back down until you hear a snap. Now the helmet's locked back in place and you're ready to ride. Now let's go over how to change the visor of this helmet. To change the visor, first open the visor all the way. Now that the visor is all the way open, you can see here on the side of the helmet that there's a switch that's been exposed. The switch is this small toggle right here. To release the visor from its bindings, simply pull back on this switch, and the visor will be released. Do that on both sides, and the visor is released. Now that you've detached the visor from your helmet, you can clean it or you can replace it with a different visor. ILM also sells tinted visors for these helmets. To attach the visor to the helmet, repeat the steps that we did to detach it in reverse. The first step is to place the visor back in the open position on the helmet. Once the visor is in that position, then pull the switch back in order to snap the visor back in place. Now that your visor is attached back on your helmet, you can close it and you're ready to ride. Next, we'll go over detachment and replacement of the inner pads on the inside of the helmet. To detach a pad from the helmet, place your thumb in between the helmet shell and the pad and pull down sharply. The buttons that attach the helmet pad to the helmet will unsnap and you'll be able to release the inner pad from the helmet. This gives you the ability to either change the pads out or clean them. Once you've received your new pads or you've cleaned your old pads and you want to replace them back in the helmet, simply place the pads back in and re-snap each of the buttons. A word of caution. As you're detaching the pad that's on the left-hand side of the helmet also has the microphone for the Bluetooth system embedded within the pad. Therefore, as you detach it, first pull firmly down on the pad as before, and then you can remove the microphone from the pad before completely detaching it from the helmet itself. When you replace the pad, remember to stick the microphone back into the pad so that you can still use the microphone Bluetooth functionality of the helmet. Just like the inner pads, the chin strap pad is also removable on this helmet. To remove the chin strap, grab the chin strap by the edge and then push towards the outside of the helmet while you rotate it towards the inside of the helmet, and it will pop right out. Reverse that to put it back in. Now let's talk about the operation for the chin strap of this helmet. The chin strap of this helmet has an interlocking tooth system that makes sure that the helmet stays tight around your head as you're riding. To use, simply insert the buckle into the clasp until the helmet is tightened firmly around your chin. To release, simply pull the red tab. If the tooth part of the locking mechanism breaks, a replacement can be purchased online. Now that we've gone over all of the physical attributes of this helmet, let's go over the Bluetooth system. When you receive your helmet, you'll also receive a box inside the helmet that contains all of the Bluetooth parts. You'll receive an instruction booklet, you'll receive the battery and Bluetooth receiver, you'll receive a wall charger, and a USB cable in order to charge your Bluetooth unit. This Bluetooth receiver is incredibly important because it contains both the battery and the sender-receiver unit. This way, if the receiver ever breaks, it's very easy to purchase a new one, remove the old one from the helmet, and place the new one inside the system. That way, you don't have to replace your whole helmet. To place the receiver inside the helmet, first flip the helmet over. Now that you can see the bottom of the helmet, pull the red tab at the back of the helmet to expose the Bluetooth receiver location. Using a fingernail or some other thin object, simply open up the receiver port. Once that's open, take your Bluetooth receiver and lining up the teeth of the Bluetooth receiver with the holes on the inside of the port, insert the Bluetooth receiver into the helmet. Make sure that the Bluetooth receiver is pushed all the way in There should be no part of the receiver that's sticking out of the hole. Once the receiver is fully inserted, you can then replace the cap on top of the port and replace the strap around the cap. Whenever you need to charge the Bluetooth receiver, simply open up the strap and you can use the wall charger to plug in that USB cable and charge your helmet. One more word of caution. If your receiver ever does break and you need to remove it from the helmet, you can remove it using this small handle here. However, the handle is not overly strong. So as you bring it out of the hole, it's great to have something that's thin, strong, but also very wide, like a butter knife. If you try and pull it out with something like pliers or tweezers, you risk breaking the handle. If the handle breaks, it becomes very difficult to remove the receiver from the helmet. Now that the battery is in the unit, you can turn it on. To turn the unit on, push the Bluetooth controller button for about 5 seconds. You'll hear a beep on the speakers from the inside of the helmet, and a blue light will start to flash. To connect the helmet with your phone, the first thing you need to do is turn on the helmet by holding the Bluetooth connector button for 5 seconds. However, once the helmet turns on, don't let go. Continue holding it for about another 5 seconds. The blue light will flash, and then another red light will start to flash. Once this red light has started to flash, now you are in Bluetooth connection mode. Turn on the Bluetooth on your mobile device and find the device in the list of devices. The helmet should be called BM2-S, and wait for the two to pair. Once your cell phone is paired with your helmet, you'll hear a double beep from inside the helmet speakers. Now you can listen to music, you can listen to radio, you can even take calls while you're riding. To listen to music, select your music app, start the music on your phone. The music will play through the speakers inside of the headset. To listen to music on your phone or mobile device, simply start the music on your device. Once the music is started, you can adjust the volume by pulling back to raise the volume or pushing forward on the Bluetooth controller knob to lower the volume. To pause the music, simply hold the Bluetooth controller knob all the way back or all the way forward for about 2 seconds. This will pause the music. To resume the music, simply repeat